there, this is Michelle from RadiantBrownBeauty.com, and in today's video I am going to do a tutorial of my pin curled updo. Right now, as you can see, this hair is not in the best state, but I'm going to transform it into a nice updo that's really simple and really easy to recreate. I am doing this video at the request of one of my subscribers. I'm sorry it's taken so long to do it, but let's get started. For starters, I'm going to show you what I use to create the updo. My favorite banana clip, my Goody 2-in-1 smoothing, I don't know what they call this, but it's a smoothing brush. It has like a small row of teeth. I just use it to smooth my edges. I do not use a comb on my hair at all. My Jane Carter Nourish and Shine. Some Eco Styler gel. I actually use Aloe Vera gel most of the time, but I've run out, so I had to dig in the crates and pull out the Eco Styler. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll use a little bit of organic coconut and hibiscus hold and shine moisture mist. This is only if absolutely necessary. If my hair feels a little dry, which it does right now. I washed it last night and I used some kind of curl cream. I'm trying to think, what did I use? It was some kind of hair buttercream, but it actually leaves my hair feeling a little drier than I like. But I'll do that. I'll use some bobby pins, which I only use the double coated Goody bobby pins because they don't snag the hair. And I'm going to use a little stretchy. So let's get started with the video. So I start by undoing my twists, and I'm doing this in fast forward motion because nothing exciting here. I'm just making sure that I get all of the twists out of my head and kind of like work my fingers through the hair so that there isn't any kind of like tangles or twists that I may have missed. This actually, I'm looking at it, and as I replay, this would have been a terrible twist out, by the way. Now that my hair is nice and untwisted, I work through smoothing the hair, and I'm going to put my stretchy headband over my head for later use. I don't want to put it in at the end because then I'll have a little bit of trouble getting it up over the bun. So as I mentioned earlier, I don't use a comb in my hair whatsoever. I've noticed that when I use a comb, what happens is I actually rip through the hair, not even realizing it. And that's even when the hair is wet and soaking with conditioner. So I use my fingers, and what's great about using your fingers is you can feel any kind of like tangles or knots, and you can work them out with your fingers without ripping your hair. So if you have fine hair like me and you're using a comb and you're noticing you're not maintaining length, that could be the culprit. But anyway, so I work my fingers through the hair and I'm smoothing it nicely before I get ready to secure it. Now that I've ensured that all of the tangles are out, I take this Eco Styler gel and I'm going to apply it to my edges in the front, on the side, and in the back. The Eco Styler gel works really well. Pretty much any gel will work on your hair to lay the edges down. You just want to be careful that you don't use a gel that contains alcohol because it will also dry the hair out. So now that I'm smoothing my edges with the Eco Styler gel, and you know what's interesting too here, later on I'm going to use my little Goody 2-in-1 brush to smooth the edges. But if you notice, I might not even need to do that. It really depends on your hair if your edges lay down easily. Smoothing with the hands is very gentle on your strands, and you're able to really just smooth the hair down so that it's very neat. Now I'm taking my trusty banana clip. Always use my teeth to open it. I don't know why I don't just have it open and ready. But once you put the banana clip in your hair, just be very careful not to snag your ends. it's really easy to get the ends caught in the teeth, and that's kind of counterproductive to the whole protective styling thing. Once the banana clip is nice and secured, you just make sure you fluff the hair out. It's got nice definition to it. And now that I think about it, if it wasn't for this video, I'd have rocked this style just the way it was. But for the sake of the video, let's continue. I know I keep saying video, I mean to say tutorial. Anyway, I take my Jane Carter Nourish and Shine, and what I do is I layer it over the gel. And the reason that I do that is because I do not like that crunchy hold that gel gives. It really doesn't matter if your hair, if you're using Eco Styler olive oil gel, if you're using maximum hold, or even if you're using a natural aloe vera gel or flaxseed gel, your hair will get crunchy when it dries. So what I do is I layer the Jane Carter Nourish and Shine over it. And then I take my Goody 2-in-1 brush and I smooth even further. Now, as you can see, I used a lot of Jane Carter Nourish and Shine. I'm just ensuring that my hair does not get crunchy in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Now that my edges are smooth, I pull this headband around my head and I'm pulling it up. As you can see, I struggle, but that's because it's tight, and I want it to be kind of tight. It's not damaging to the hair because once I pull it up, it loosens up a bit and it keeps my edges nice and smooth. Now what you could do is, once your hair is dry, I do this when I don't want to tie my hair down with a scarf. But let's say once your edges are dried and the gel has set, you can remove the headband. I just choose to leave it because I like it. Now what you're going to do is you're going to separate out your hair in sections to create 2-strand twists. Big fat 2-strand twists, and you're going to twist them very loosely. The reason I do this is because I noticed when I used to just do regular pin curls, what would happen is it just didn't look right. The hair would be separated, and so I decided I'm going to modify it, and I'm going to create my pin curls in a way that it looks a lot more voluminous. So I section out only 4 because it's based on really the thickness of your hair. Even though my strands are fine, the hair is kind of thick when it's all together. So I create 4 twists for this style. And once I'm twisting them to the ends, and when I get ready to pin them, it'll be nice and full, and I'll have that definition. By the way, I really like the definition I get with 2-strand twists, but when I take it out, it just doesn't look right as a twist out because my ends are straight. It's not heat damage. I haven't used heat in my hair in over a year, and it has been cut a couple of times. It's just, I guess because my hair is fine, the ends come out pretty straight. Now, when you're finished twisting, you're going to make sure you have enough bobby pins. And you're going to take your first twist and you're going to roll it around your fingers. At first I started by trying to just pin it, but I realized, for the pin curl, let me roll it around my finger and then pin it under. And when you pin, what I like to do is I like to put 1 pin on each side so that it kind of stays up and it doesn't lean to the side, especially if you have a lot of hair. You don't want it to sort of fall. So I'm going to pin each one of these twists in such a way that the banana clip is hidden. You want to make sure you don't see the banana clip. It's supposed to be invisible. I guess part of the reason that I was asked to do this tutorial is because it was kind of difficult to figure out how I did the style when I shared it in a slideshow of protective styles. But as you can see, it's a really simple style to recreate, and it just requires a little creativity. It's, you know, it's kind of elegant, it's up, and it, as you'll see from the pictures in just a moment, my hair looks like it was intricately curled and pinned, and as you can see while I'm doing it, there's nothing intricate about it. One thing to mention also is when you're pin curling the individual twists, you want to make sure that there's no space between them. So what I do is, if you notice, is I pin each one and then I sort of like pin it close to the one that's next to it so that you can't see any spaces in the hair. Part of that helps to hide the banana clip, but also it helps to give the bun that I'm creating some kind of volume. Now the last twist, you could pin it under. I've chose to pin it upward against the grain of the other three because it creates a different sort of shape to the updo. And you know, this style, you can do it with your hair in your banana clip pinned straight to the back. You could put it on the top of your head, whatever you so choose. You know, you can just play with the positioning of the banana clip on your head so that you get the look that you want. Now that I am just about done pinning, I am going to sort of adjust the style in a way so that I have a little bit more volume and it's not pinned too closely to my head. You can play with it, you can adjust it. As long as you have bobby pins, girl, you can work with it. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I think this is probably one of my first. I think it's the second one. I don't know. I usually show my finished styles in a slideshow, but you know, I'm going to do more tutorials now. I actually enjoyed making it. So have a blessed day. I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe.